Welcome to the T-Pac Arcade. Today's game is Super Bomberman 3 for the Nintendo Super Famicom. In this 1995 elimination action game from Hudson Soft, some kinda evil bearded cosmic cyborg wizard has resurrected the rusting carcasses of the 5 dastardly bombers. So naturally, Bomberman's gonna blow them right back to the space scrapyard. The basic objective here is to exit each playfield by bombing all the beacons on screen. This is actually simpler than previous Super Bomberman games, where you also had to clear all the enemies, which is nice, because even though some baddies are more easily defeated than avoided, a lot of them here are just the opposite. Like the little fan blade bots that spit darts at you. Take it from me, if your electric fan decides it wants to stab you, don't fight back, just run away. But if you do have to fight back, at least you've got unlimited bombs that detonate in the 4 cardinal directions and blow up blocks and other hazards. And yourself, if you're not careful. Different power-ups increase the number of bombs you can set simultaneously, their range of fire, and even their bombing mechanics. Spike bombs detonate across their full range no matter how many obstacles are lined up, the almighty heart bombs have manual triggers instead of preset timers, and the blob bombs, to be perfectly honest, I never quite figured out what the blob bombs do, but they're wiggly and fun, so that's good enough for me. Other upgrades hidden behind blocks are extra lives, extra hits, roller skates for speed, and a few bonus abilities like bomb kicking and throwing. But the most novel power-up in Super Bomberman 3 is the Animal Buddies, which hatch from eggs and let you ride on them. They don't actually do anything though, other than take an additional hit for you before disappearing. Sorry little kangaroo bunny thing, I hate to see something so adorable be essentially relegated to a living shield, but I appreciate your sacrifice nonetheless. And it did take a lot of sacrifice to make it through this game. There are 5 standard planets, each with 4 levels and a boss fight, where the resurrected dastardly bombers assimilate with some big wacky brute to annihilate you. I never really know what to expect from Bomberman enemies, but even still, I was caught off guard by the Cactus Bros in their boomerang sombrero, and the cute giant princess who inexplicably flashes an evil grin while summoning a bunch of gnome henchmen to kill you. Guess I can't trust pretty princesses any more than my own throat-slitting electric fan. The final stage in this game is the UFO, where you bomb your way through 6 consecutive playfields and then face the evil bearded cosmic cyborg wizard. Super Bomberman 3 really shines in the graphics department. Each planet has a unique theme, which feeds into some really cool enemy designs and stage assets, like the lava planet with erupting volcanoes and minecarts that carry you around on tracks, the aquatic planet full of suspicious-looking shell dudes where the whole environment waves with the undersea current, and the Egyptian planet with its snake-filled pyramids and quicksand warps. And fire-breathing pharaoh mummies. I didn't know mummies did that. To be perfectly honest, some of the enemy graphics here don't have quite the same level of adorable appeal as earlier Super Bomberman games, but this series sets such a high bar for itself that I can't really fault it. Plus, the jellyfish still make me want to pinch their cheeks and go, "Yaww," if only they wouldn't electrocute me a split second later. And let me take a moment to address the music in Super Bomberman 3. Full disclosure, I rarely even notice the music in video games while I'm playing, but the chiptunes here were so good that I was legit enthralled with every level. There's just something special going on with the tracks here. The Winter Planet tunes in particular have this haunting sort of quality that you just don't get in video games like this. And even the stand-in elevator music during the battle mode stage select is like lo-fi gold. Speaking of battle mode, that's Super Bomberman 3's multiplayer versus offering, outside the main game. You can play as a bunch of Bomberman variations from different countries, like Rootin' Tootin' USA Cowboy Bomberman, and take on opponents in various locales. You can even set them to low difficulty levels like I did, so I actually had a chance at winning a match. That's not to say Super Bomberman 3 is ridiculously difficult, but it has its moments. I was able to get all the way to the final boss with just the built-in password and continue system, but when I realized you had to win the last 6 levels and the wizard fight in one go, I said forget that and started cheating with save states. Especially considering the wizard's second mech phase, where he uses like a million different weapons, and you basically have to trick him into a stun lock so he doesn't murder you with spinning hearts. Who knew the power of love could be so lethal? Overall, if it weren't for the challenge spike at the end there, Super Bomberman 3 would be the undisputed high point of the series so far. A moment of silence for the loss of all my kangaroo bunny buds, and a few hours of joy for another great entry in the Super Bomberman franchise.